What's going on, everyone? Drake here. Today what we're going to go ahead and do is touch on some run plays here. It's going to be out of Gun Trio. You can find it in these playbooks. So I'm just basically going to break down 3 run plays and just show you what defenses they work very well against. So first up here, we're going to go ahead and break down QB G down. I'm going to show this versus double mug. It's super good versus cover 0 defenses. So you know how people will usually stand in the gap here? All you need to do, go ahead and untarget him, call hike here, and then you just run towards the edge. You can see how everybody just kind of crashes inside, and we pick up easy yards here. That's an easy touchdown. This run is insane versus cover 0 defenses. Everybody just crashes inside. Then you have 2 blockers on the edge, and you're out. Let's do it again here. Bring this guy down into the gap. Sometimes they'll press coverage. If they stand in the gap, you're going to want to make sure you untarget their user. If they're not standing in the gap, you don't have to untarget. But you can see how we're off again. This is 2 for 2. 2 touchdowns. Let's do it one more time. Stand in the gap here. If you can do it 3 times, it's not a fluke, right? Let's do it again. You can see, sprint to that edge. Probably not going to score here because Stockton's kind of slow, but we pick up a ton of yards. So here we're just showing it versus a 6-1 send 6. Hike the ball here. Again, you just take it to the edge. Seeing this is a cover 0 defense, you're going to tote all over it to that weak side. Everybody's on the trip side here, so you just book it to the weak side, and then we are off. We're scoring so many touchdowns here. They're going to get out of these defenses instantly. Let's go ahead and do it one more time here. Call hike. Wait to hit turbo until you get to the edge. And then you can see how many yards we're picking up here. Just to show it in the replay. You see here, we call hike. We just run to the edge. Don't hit turbo yet. Once you get to the line of scrimmage, then you can hit turbo just so nobody sheds. And you can see we're picking up a ton of yards. So here we have 6-1, and I'm just going to show inside zone versus it. It's very nice because you can easily take it up the middle here. It's just a good complement versus like 6-1 defenses. Basically adding this with the QBG down run play. So you can see how there's just a gap on either side here, either that left B gap or right up the middle that you can take this run. That way, it's just a very, very good mix, and like I stated, to the first QB run that I showed. So not super good against like double mug. There really isn't a run up the middle that's good versus double mug just because everybody is crowded and your opponent is hovering. So you can see there that there was a gap, ginormous hole there. We ran right through and picked up easy 10 there. So another good run play here, and I'll show it versus Texas stunt defenses as well, is going to be the off tackle. But first, we'll show it versus 6-1. You see how you can just take it to the edge here and pick up some easy yards. It's all dependent on if these corners on the left side here, so on the trip side, it's all a matter of if these receivers pick up the block. If they don't pick up the block, there could be an issue with not really getting much yards. I do think it's something that's going to get patched throughout the year, so this run will get even better. Sometimes I'll ID the slot cornerback. It seems to help a little bit with blocks, basically just not getting shedded. Let's do it again here. You see we're at least picking up a few yards here, but it's just another run with possibility for a home run potential. You can see we're picking up an easy 5 yards there again. So here we have the 4-man Texas stunt defenses. You can see how you can easily take it to the edge versus these as well. Like I stated, it's all a matter of if the corners or safety sheds. So you can see there they shed back-to-back plays. So instead of getting like 10 yards, we only got like 3. Keep on doing it here a few times. See right there, we are about, we crib shotted that one. I'll show you the replay. It's all dependent on this second level blocking out here. Once you get past the line of scrimmage, are these guys going to hold on to their blocks? In this case, they do, which allows me to walk in for a touchdown. Let's run it one more time here. Go ahead and ID the slot corner. You can see they hang on to the blocks a little bit better. Picking up a couple yards here. A good mix in for this formation here. Here we go again. You can see there was easy 10 to 15 yards right there. You just want to make sure you're not pressing turbo until you get to the edge or to the line of scrimmage, just because you're going to have a lesser chance of these defenders block shedding your wide receivers if you don't hit turbo. So last up here, we're going to show the RPO plays. There's a bubble screen and a wide receiver screen. You're just going to have some solid run option out of it versus these Texas defenses or pretty much any zone defense. And then you still have the bubble, which is obviously still very good. You can bust it for easy yards. You just got to make sure that you watch that slot cornerback, make sure he's not in a hard flat, or make sure that he does get picked up by the defense, and then you're getting easy yards. Or, like I stated, you can just take up the middle. You can see you're getting easy yards that way. So the wide receiver screen is going to be solid versus like cover 3 or cover 4 defenses. That way your opponent is basically just having a deep blue out there. They run a lot of zone blitzes as well, but you can see the run is definitely solid. And then you still have this option just to mix in this screen portion, which definitely is an option here. You can see it picked up easy 5 there. If your team holds the block, you can pick up more yards. It's just kind of dependent on how your team is at blocking. In my opinion, the bubble screen is better than the wide receiver screen, but this is just something extra you can mix in or throw at your opponent, especially if they're running some sort of zone blitz. Like I know like Dollar has zone blitzes, 3-4 tight is a popular zone blitz. That way you can get a lot of yards out wide because they're obviously blitzing everybody in the middle. Just to add on here, inside of the formation, there's a lot of good passing plays. A few of my favorites, they have verticals. PA slot corner is very nice. I like mixing in slants. It's got like a sharp, short post at that outside wide receiver spot, so that's great. PA verticals is a pretty solid play. Flood is nice if you need to basically just attack that trip side with the inside wide receiver, that middle wide receiver Y on a deep out route. Aside from that, stick if you need to utilize a nice deep fade on that outside wide receiver spot, that's great as well. So like I stated, there's tons of options here passing wise to choose from. So yeah, that about covers it. I have Stanford playbook here. I think it's got the best trio out of the 3 playbooks that have it. There's a lot of good run plays, some good RPOs. This formation has a lot of potential. So if y'all would like me to further break down this formation, just make sure to like the video. If I get over 25 likes, I'll fully break down this formation. As always, if you did appreciate the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions at all, just comment below. I get to them as quickly as I can. I'll see you next time.